Good morning. After the tremendous financial results that we delivered, after India being the world's fastest growing economy at 7.6%, after having some of the best social impact companies here in this room, and having a chairman coming in, that's a really weak good morning. Maybe we should try Suprabhatam if you don't like good mornings. Okay, given you're talking about Bharat. Let's try again. Chairman's here. Good morning. Good morning. That's better. That's the energy we want. Today is a day to be inspired. And the reason I say that is because we have in this room people who could have built great careers elsewhere. They chose to actually serve Bharat. And that's what today is going to be all about. And when we talk about inspiration, I got to quote something which I heard from the chairman quite a few years back. It's almost 4 or 5 years. But in my role, I have this habit of writing things down, which many a time the chairman himself doesn't remember. And he told it to me in Gujarati, so I don't want to mess up the words, and therefore let me read it verbatim to you. It said, આપણે બીજાને ઇન્સ્પાયર કરવું હોય, આપણે બીજાને ઇન્સ્પાયર કરવું હોય તો પહેલે જાતને ઇન્સ્પાયર કરવું શીખવું જોઈએ. મીન્સ આપણે બીજાને ઇન્સ્પાયર કરવું હોય તો પહેલે જાતને ઇન્સ્પાયર કરવું શીખવું જોઈએ. यदि हमें दूसरों को इंस्पायर करना है तो पहले अपने आप को इंस्पायर करना सीखना चाहिए. If you want to inspire others, we got to learn how to first inspire ourselves. That is what today is all about. Let me start off by thanking the chairman, Mrs. Adani, for the foundation that they have built. Green Talks, this is the third version of Green Talks. And there's nothing equivalent to this program anywhere in the country. It comes because of the belief that the chairman has as an entrepreneur. The people that are making a difference to India, especially Bharat, must be given a platform. And so when we started this journey of what Green Talks was going to be about, we said we would bring on this platform companies that are fundamentally making a difference. It is not necessary that all these companies will succeed. Many of them will fail, but it depends on how we define success. If we define success as grit, if we define success as determination, if we define success as willing to take on the largest of odds, these are the people that we bring onto the stage. And like I said, every single one of them that have walked the stage over the last 3 years could have had superb alternative careers. They chose not to take that path, but to be here and work for the country. For that grit, they need to be applauded. The world that we live in today, climate change and social impact have fused together. If there is one word that bridges social impact and climate change, that word is equitable. And why do I say that? It's because the countries that today are on the path to success will have to ensure that equitable are words that sit well within every decision the government takes. And when we see what's going on in India, this is something that we all realize, that we cannot be doing and succumbing to the pressures of the West today that look at carbon emissions as something that should be banned. That doesn't work for the country, because if we do that, we sacrifice the social impact. That's why the word that bridges climate change and the word that bridges social impact is this word equitable. And this word was the key word. This was the most essential word at the COP28. This is the word that unified all the nations, because for the first time the world got together and said we will use the word equitable when we write the language. And that's the word that was used by a chairman 2 years ago. Let's take a look at what this means for us. We also have a series of tweets that went out during the COP28, and I will talk over it as the tweets come up. what the chairman said, London 2021. These are a series of tweets that floated around in the last 9 days. Over 7.5 lakh views already on those tweets. It's still trending on Twitter. Cement, the largest solar plant in the world. Roads. We dare roads. Not one company in the world is in a position to put out these series of tweets. EV charging stations, 75,000 of them. World of Travel ranks as the single largest travel in the world. 100 million trips. Promise that all the capabilities are there. India's climate ranking from 'बूंदों की छमछम नदियों की रवानी, जल है तो बल है, यही है जीवन की कहानी. This is one of the most moving videos when we talk about equitable change. Let's roll the video.
आप महसूस करेंगे वहां का वातावरण बोलता है, प्रकृति बोलती हुई मिलेगी. और आप देखिए कि वहां पूरा सब कुछ जीवंत लगता है. यदि कुछ हटकर करने का मन में संकल्प हो तो बहुत कुछ किया जा सकता है, और 6 साल में तो बहुत कुछ बदला जा सकता है. जलवायु परिवर्तन का असर मैंने खुद ने महसूस किया. मेरे गांव में भी मैंने देखा. गांव में एकदम से गर्मी आ जाती है. गांव का जलस्तर नीचे जा रहा था. प्लान होना शुरू हो गया था लोगों का. खेती करना लोग जो है, क्योंकि ट्यूबवेल इतने गहरे हो गए थे, बोरिंग करते थे तो पानी नहीं आता था. हमने जंगल खत्म कर दिए, सारी जमीन खेती योग्य बना दी जंगल काट काट के. ये तो एक सिद्धांत की बात है कि जब पेड़ नहीं रहेंगे तो चिड़िया नहीं रहेगी. और जब चिड़िया नहीं रहेगी तो कीट पतंगों की, कीड़े मकोड़ों की संख्या बढ़ जाएगी. मैंने देखा कि असंतुलन है प्रकृति का. अडानी फाउंडेशन का तो बहुत बहुत आभारी हूँ. यदि इनका साथ नहीं मिलता हमें तो मैं नहीं समझता कि हम कामयाब हो पाते. उन्होंने आगे आकर जो एक मदद जो हमें दी, उसके द्वारा हमने फेंसिंग का काम किया. जो सबसे जरूरत होती है ट्यूबवेल की, पानी की जरूरत होती है, बोरिंग जो है अडानी फाउंडेशन ने लगाया. और जो जरूरी बुनियादी जरूरत थी वो हमें अडानी फाउंडेशन ने मुहैया करा. हमारे ऊपर भरोसा किया उन्होंने. जब इन्होंने आके देखा तो उस जमीन में कुछ नहीं था. पेड़ पौधे लगाते थे, जानवर खा जाते थे और नुकसान होता था. गांव वालों ने भी शुरू में विरोध किया. इसके बावजूद भी हमने इसको चैलेंज के रूप में लिया. सबसे ज्यादा सहयोग हमने महिलाओं का लिया. हम लगाते गए और पूरा संरक्षण करते गए. काम तो करना है, ये काम हम करेंगे.
मन में कुछ हटके करने का संकल्प हो तो बहुत कुछ किया जा सकता है, और फिर 6 साल में तो बहुत कुछ बदला जा सकता है।
We just saw one video of Kunjal, but there are thousands of places across the world facing the similar challenges, even worse. Lowering water table, deforestation, pollution, scarcity of wildlife, and whatnot. This is why at Green Talks 2021, our chairman had said, green shoots of recovery for the planet can only be truly green if we create a climate of faith and optimism that the world's socially deprived people need.
In 2022, he said that today, let us talk about certainty. Certainty of humanity, certainty of hope, certainty of raw guts, certainty of resilience.
And today is the day where we will be witnessing the certainty of humanity through the eyes and actions of entrepreneurs that are giving up their careers to be able to make a difference to the millions of lives that live in Bharat. These are the people जिनके मन में कुछ हटके करने की इच्छा थी और उन्होंने करके दिखाया.
These entrepreneurs present here have come across from the landscape of Bharat, be it Telangana, West Bengal, Karnataka, or Punjab. They have come together for weaving the thread of innovation, passion, and dedication by different ways to create a better future.
These social enterprises are driven by purpose, is a proof of their unwavering conviction. Each deck is a symphony of innovation, echoing with the potential to transform lives and landscapes. They are the pioneers, the Davids facing Goliaths, and their courage in tackling the world's most pressing issues is inspiration to us all. With this, let us start the Green Talks 2023.
Green Talks are an example of the fresh approach we must take to help solve social problems.
Adani Green Top. The green color signifies prosperity for all. It represents growth and renewal.
The Bharat government has done an amazing job of launching so many policies and schemes for the last mile of our nation. The objective of these policies is to help the last mile of our nation, and the development of this last mile of nation will make Bharat the superpower we all dream our country to be.
However, deciphering, analyzing, and being able to make sense of all these policies is complex. And what Hak Darshak does is address to this very problem of being able to be right there for people who are not accessible and people who do not have access, making sure that they form the bridge between the ambitions of a government and the needs of the villagers that benefit the most.
Let us welcome the very first speaker of our day, Aniket Doeger from the city of Silicon City, Bangalore.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Aniket. I'm born and brought up in Shimla and then studied in Shriram College of Commerce. But apart from commerce, my interest was always in policy, grassroots development. And that's what led me to join Teach for India. And the photograph that you see here are the students that I taught, grade 2 students in a Pune Municipal Corporation school for 2 years. 130 students, 100 of them today are in college. That for me is my biggest achievement so far, surpassing anything that we do at Haq Darshak. The Teach for India trigger is what led me to go deeper into the development sector and understand what are the grassroots problems that our citizens in a country face. And one of them, critical ones, was this. India, as a country, we are a socialist democracy. So we have 20,000 plus social welfare schemes of states and center. This is 13,000 of them are registered with NPCI. The budget is 10% of our GDP, which is great. And in the next 10 years, as we become a $10 trillion economy, this will become $1 trillion. But it is still very low compared to OECD countries. OECD countries spend 28%. 20 lakh crores, 20 lakh crore was the budget last year for social security schemes. Out of this, 80% actually is credit subvention to MSMEs, farmers, and citizens. So sometimes on Twitter, what you see as a freebie narrative is actually not true. Cash transfer is only 20%. Government subsidies are supposed to support that grassroots entrepreneur, that grassroots farmer, and individual with cash loan subsidies. India, Bharat, is a 10-40-50 country. 10% of us, 40% people who work for us, and 50% are farmers. What we are doing at Haq Darshak is solving for that 90%, the 125 crore people who are eligible for these government schemes. The problem? Less than 25% know about this eligibility. So in 2015, we started Haq Darshak. We ourselves are a product of the government Startup India program and Digital India mission. We were incubated here in IIM Ahmedabad. We won the grant, then we went to IIT Delhi, NASCOM, won some competitions, won some money to get started in the platform. Haq in Urdu means your rights. Sanskrit, in Sanskrit, Darshak means the individual or the organization which shows you the path. That's how Haq Darshak comes together. It's a technology platform which supports and helps citizens get information on their government schemes. We started this in 2016 January as a registered startup, for-profit enterprise, and the reason to set it up as a private limited company was to build a scalable, sustainable, agile, technology-driven solution. And how do we ensure that our fellow countrymen get all the government schemes and documents that they are eligible for? From starting as in 2015 with just one person, today we are a team of over 550 people spread across 23 states with a network of over 48,000 trained women agents. So what is the Haq Darshak platform? As you can see, this is a very complex slide because getting that simple Aadhaar, getting that simple PAN card, getting that simple government scheme is actually very complicated. There are multiple APIs, technology integrations that are supposed to be there right at the back end and simplifying right if you look at towards the right-hand side, towards the citizen side. So we have also invested a lot at the technology platforms that we have built. We have a repository of 7,000 plus government schemes that we have created, which is the largest in the country. Not even the central government or state governments have that because we are coordinating with all information. The information that is there is in 14 local languages. And then we have the network of women agents who do this through our agent management system. At the citizen side, we have a citizen app, which has over 500,000 downloads. And we are also building our platforms on the government's Bhashini and Jugalbandi platform. So we have a Yojana Sathi app, which again is voice enabled and talks to citizens about their eligibility, access, documents, and services. The three focus areas that we have in terms of our customers, and we call our citizens, these 90%, not beneficiaries, but customers, because we believe that these will be the next market that we can create. So 50% of our focus is for farmers, where we help them with right from schemes like PM Kisan to Ayushman Bharat to all the documents. The second segment are the unorganized workers. These include gig workers, domestic workers, factory workers. In India, there are about 30 million domestic workers, 20 million gig workers, drivers who do not get access to basic social security and are not aware how they can get benefits of health insurance, life insurance, pensions. The third is the micro businesses. Again, from the 10 crore identified MSMEs in the country, over 9 crore have a turnover of less than 10 lakhs. They don't have Udyog Aadhar. There is a misconception around GST, which means they cannot get subsidized credit from the government. The recent Prime Minister's scheme that has been launched for artisans, for example, PM Vishwakarma, allows you to get a 2 lakh rupee loan at 4%. Whereas if that same artisan were to go to a microfinance, they probably would get it at 24%. The difference, those artisans don't have an artisan card, they do not have an Udyog Aadhar, they do not have the documents. We at Akdarshak are telling them these are the documents to get and also enabling the application to that. Our model is a B2B2C model, because we do realize that the end citizen and the end customer in this segment may not be able to directly download or pay for it. So we have been working with 100 plus organizations. The three examples we have, one, we work directly with the corporate partners, where we are able to get their factory workers, construction workers, and shop floor workers access to PF, ESIC, Ayushman Bharat, all the government schemes that are there, and also their families in terms of scholarships and services. These are some of the examples, right from gig and factory workers. Second is the corporate foundations. We are also grateful that we got a chance to work during COVID with the Adani Foundation in RA colony in Mumbai, where we train women. So large part of our corporate foundation work is with women entrepreneur training and a lot of work with farmers in grassroots, where we are necessarily not working with supply chain of companies, but in larger rural areas where there is a need, and identifying those areas where there are not enough, let's say, factories and industries. How do we reach them and get them access where there is even a larger need? The third is with international research organizations, where we do a lot of platform, AI, DPI, digital public infrastructure, and digital public good work. And we have been working with a lot of international foundations there. In the last 2 years, COVID, as for a lot of organizations, has been like a CIO, Chief Innovation Officer. For us also that happened. And we came up with this concept of Yojana Kendra. Today, we have 60 plus such Yojana Kendras in 60 aspirational blocks. This is a hub and spoke model. For every Kendra, there are 50 to 60 women linked who bring the demand to this center. And here we are doing social security, documents, financial inclusion, digital literacy, and financial literacy, and serving a whole block and community. We aim to scale this to every aspirational block in this country, starting off, like I said, with 60 that we have. How do we do financial inclusion? That's where we bring in our other innovation that we've worked with RBI Innovation Hub last year, the Yojana card. So this is what a Yojana card looks like. The one Yojana card is like an interoperable QR code. So this, when scanned, will tell you all your government schemes and documents in one place and will also help you link. The second one is a bank-linked card. The bank-linked card will also help us to identify what are the government cash benefits that are coming and how can we get them. How can we create like a pre-credit score and social security score for them so that we can get them access to more financial inclusion and better benefits? Because a large part of this segment wants to get into mainstream financial inclusion. To explain this better, we have a short video to share what we are doing with the Yojana card.
जिस तरह एटीएम कार्ड द्वारा आप अपने बैंक खाते में से पैसे निकाल सकते हैं, उसी तरह हमारे योजना कार्ड द्वारा आप सरकारी योजनाओं के लाभ प्राप्त कर सकते हैं। जी हाँ, इस कार्ड के जरिए हम आपको सरकारी योजनाओं की पूरी जानकारी देंगे और जिन जिन योजनाओं के लिए आप पात्र हैं और जो योजनाएं आपके लिए उचित है, उनके लाभ भी दिलाएंगे। बस एक बार कार्ड खरीदें और जीवन भर हमारी सेवाओं के लाभ प्राप्त करें। अब ये सेवाएं क्या है? चलिए जानते हैं। पहली सेवा, अपने स्मार्टफोन के माध्यम से आप खुद योजना संबंधित जानकारी देख सकते हैं। कार्ड पर दिए QR कोड को स्कैन करें, हमारी वेबसाइट पर साइन इन करें और तुरंत देखिए उन योजनाओं की सूची जिनके लिए आप पात्र हैं, किस योजना के लिए कौन से सरकारी दस्तावेजों की जरूरत है और योजनाओं के लिए अर्जी कैसे करते हैं। दूसरी सेवा, यदि आपके पास स्मार्टफोन नहीं है तो आप हमारे हक दर्शक या हक दर्शिका से घर बैठे मदद ले सकते हैं। आपको बस कार्ड पर लिखे हेल्पलाइन नंबर पर कॉल करना है और हमारे हक दर्शक आपके घर पहुंच जाएंगे। वे आपको सिर्फ जानकारी ही नहीं देंगे बल्कि बहुत ही मामूली शुल्क पर आपके लिए योजनाओं का आवेदन भी कर देंगे। और तो और, अगर आपके पास आधार या पैन जैसे दस्तावेज नहीं है तो वे वो भी बनवा देंगे। हम समझ सकते हैं कि आपने कई धक्के खाए होंगे, शायद किसी एजेंट ने आपके साथ बेईमानी भी की होगी, लेकिन हमने आप जैसे 40 लाख से अधिक नागरिकों की मदद की है और 4,200 करोड़ रुपए से अधिक का लाभ उन तक पहुंचाया है। तो डरिए मत, रुकिए मत, अपने भविष्य के बारे में सोचिए और बेफिक्र बनिए हमारे अगले लाभार्थी।
This work that we have been doing on financial inclusion, we've already signed up with MasterCard globally, and we are signing up with RuPay and launching the card early next year. Some of the partners who've supported us, apart from our B2B partners in this journey, have been the Schwab Foundation, Acumen, and a lot of global enterprises who've helped us identify the research and impact that we've been able to create. In terms of impact, we've so far reached more than 40,000 micro businesses and over 4.3 million citizens. We have a 93% success rate. Also to share that each of these families, our data shows, is eligible for 40 to 50 government schemes. So they're only availing 4 or 5. So there is a scope for every family to at least get 10 or 20 more. We've also done digital and financial literacy for over 6 lakh people. I also now want to share with you a quick video of also 2 of our customer citizens who avail the benefit of the Ayushman Bharat scheme.
काम तो घर का ही है जी, बाहर तो मतलब कुछ नहीं है, घर का ही काम करते हैं। बीमारियों से बहुत परेशान थी मैं, बहुत ज्यादा। मेरे सर का ना ऑपरेशन हो रखा है, देखो यहाँ से और यहाँ तक का है ये, इसलिए मैं ज्यादा नहीं बोल पाती हूँ क्योंकि सर में प्लेटें पड़ी हुई हैं, जोर पड़ता है नसों पे बहुत ज्यादा। मतलब आयुष्मान कार्ड बन नहीं पा रहा था, तो फिर काजल जी से मिले, इन्होंने आयुष्मान वो बनवाया हक दर्शक कंपनी से, उससे लाभ मिला, ऑपरेशन किया सिर का, करवाया उसके उससे ही।
सबसे बड़ा फायदा तो ये है कि इतना पैसे का अरेंजमेंट नहीं हो पाता ऑपरेशन के लिए, जो आपके सामने ये बैठी हुई है, तो ये हक दर्शक कंपनी की ही मेहरबानी से बैठी हुई है, क्योंकि इतना पैसा कहाँ से लाए गरीब आदमी।
Ayushman Bharat is the world's largest health insurance cashless scheme. And one interesting data point, we last year did about 5 lakh Ayushman Bharat onboarding in the country. We have a monitoring and evaluation team where we call 20% of our customers. When we called them and asked, आपको आयुष्मान भारत कार्ड मिला? उन्होंने बोला हाँ। हमने बोला आयुष्मान भारत कार्ड होता क्या है? उन्हें बोला नहीं पता। हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस क्या होता है? नहीं पता। It is not just important to onboard citizens on health social security, it is also important to treat them as customers and ensure that the last mile service happens so that they can get the benefits when needed of these government schemes, documents, and services on time, which can be life-changing. We've so far overall become a unicorn, not in terms of probably revenue, but in terms of the benefits delivered. Last count, we have 14,000 crores plus worth of government benefits delivered. We're onboarding 2 lakh citizens on a monthly basis across the country on government benefits. This has been done with the bedrock of our women agents, women Hak Darshikas. We train through SRLM, NRLM, self-help groups. These are women who are 10th to 12th standard educated. They do not need to know English, any language. We are all in all local languages. And we're also been able to generate about over 10 crores worth of livelihoods for them. And to share again a quick example and hear from the Hak Darshika herself, her story, I also want to show you another video of our women agents.
हक दर्शक बनने से पहले तो मैं साधारण घर की गृहिणी थी, ऐसा कुछ काम वगैरह तो कुछ करती नहीं थी, बाहर जाने का तो सोचना भी नहीं था, क्योंकि हक दर्शक बनने से पहले जो है वो कुएं का मेंढक रहता है, उसी तरह हम एक अपने गांव में ही रहते थे। जब मैंने हक दर्शक ये संस्था आई, उस पर मैंने जब सीखा, वहाँ पे जाके ट्रेनिंग ली, उसके बाद मुझे लगा कि नहीं, ये हमारे ही जैसे लोगों के लिए एक बहुत अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म है जिसपे हमको काम करना चाहिए। सीखने के साथ साथ लोगों में भी जागरूकता लानी और उनको भी ये जानकारी देनी जरूरी है जो हमारे ही बीच रह के हमको मालूम होनी चाहिए। और जो भी था फिर मैंने थोड़ा थोड़ा करके धीरे से अपनी हिचकिचाहट बात करने में लोगों को जो के सामने जो परेशानियां आती हैं, सिर ढको, कैसे बोलेंगे अपने आप को, कहीं बुरा किसी को ना लगे, इस बात का भी। तो जैसे ही मैंने स्टार्ट किया थोड़े से, एक घर से 2 घर से, फिर मेरी झिझक भी थोड़ी सी दूर हो गई। हक दर्शक में मैंने काम किया तो लोगों को जागरूक किया, जानकारी के साथ साथ इसमें मुझे एक अच्छा बेनिफिट मिला, मेरी आय का एक स्रोत बना, जिससे मेरे घर परिवार से लेकर सारे लोग इतने खुश हुए कि पूछिए मत, कि तूने इतना कमाया, मेरे से ज्यादा। मिस्टर भी बोल रहे थे तू भी कमाने वाली हो गई, ऐसा करके। जब मेरी सासू अम्मा की आंखों पे एक्चुअल में आंसू आ गए सर, जब मैंने उनको पैसे दिए कि मेरी 1 महीने की कमाई 5,500 रुपए, मेरे लिए उस टाइम मैं बोल नहीं सकती सर, इतना अच्छा महसूस हुआ कि मैंने लोगों की भलाई की, तो मुझे ये आ रहा है। काश ये अगर हक दर्शक 2-3 साल पहले ही आया हुआ तो आज मेरी कहाँ से कहाँ तक इनकम होती।
This Didi works in Chhattisgarh. We have thousands of such stories. Also, to share one of her stories, the longer video is on YouTube. But she also helped during COVID one of her other self-help group members get the Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana, which gives you a 2 lakh rupee benefit in case of your death. Unfortunately, that Didi passed away during COVID. Her husband had no clue such a scheme existed. She went, got her husband that 2 lakh rupees and her family so that they could get that cash benefit. And there are this customer support at the last mile, where treating these citizens as customers is crucial, where these Hagdarshikas and agents are not only doing onboarding, but hand-holding when the time is essential so that they can get the benefits and documents at the right time. We have an audacious big mission by 2030 to reach 500 million people in India. Like I said, we are a large country. There's a huge need and we are a growing country. So the economy is there to support this. We want to ensure that we can get citizens $100 billion worth of government benefits on a yearly basis through credit, subvention, and schemes, and work with the vision of the Prime Minister. Just yesterday, the AI conference in Delhi got concluded, where India is now going to build digital public infrastructure and digital public goods in India for the world. And we're already working on an idea of UPI for government schemes and documents. How can you ensure that using your data with your consent, how can we get all your documents and all your schemes in a single QR code, in a single dashboard? That is the goal here. And we believe if we can work on this model, we can not only unlock the thousands of government social welfare schemes, but also add a lot of private benefits, financial inclusion and private scholarships to the system to really ensure that the economy grows in an equitable and social way. Thank you so much and looking forward to all of your support. Thank you.
We recently got ranked as the world's largest solar player. It is a proud moment that Bharat ranks so high in several of the climate matrices. That being said, the sad part is that there are hundreds of millions of people who still lack electricity.
While on one hand, we generate massive amount of power to be able to feed into the grid. On the other hand, there is the need for the people to address the last mile. The social impact of addressing the last mile so that people can keep the lamp on, can leave the lamp on to be able to teach the children, so that hospitals are able to serve the patients, so that we are able to provide that one fan that runs in the peaks of the summer. That last mile is the mile where we must win. And this is what Honorji resonates with.
Piyush Jaju from Kolkata, an investment banker back in 2012, gave up his very satisfying job after visiting Sundarbans, a rural place of West Bengal. It was only the objective to enable people to achieve their daily tasks. Ayushi, did you know what Piyush's parents used to tell him when he left his job?
No.
They tell, धंधा बंदा कुछ करना नहीं, झोला लेके घूम रहे.
Not only him, Manisha, his wife, Shweta, gave up the glamorous world of advertising and was deeply moved by the cause Piyush was working on. They gave up their profession, which would have given them far more recognition and far more wealth. Somebody has got to make it happen, reaching the last mile. Shweta means unadulterated, and Piyush is associated with purity. Here we have the couple, matched by the stars, taking the purest of their intentions into deepest of the village. Please welcome on stage Shweta and Piyush, founders of Onergy.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am. Our job is to provide energy to the last mile. And I hope I bring some more energy to the room. We are a solar organization, but I'm not going to talk about solar. That we can learn better from you. Let's look at the bigger picture. Let's look at the bigger picture. We are going to solve the pressing challenges that India faces, and let's have a look at the solutions that we have for it. Sitting over here, we have access to electricity. Now imagine your life without electricity. It's going to be difficult, right? Every mundane activity is going to be difficult. 100% of rural India is electrified, yet only 600 million people do not have access to reliable source of energy. Now let's look at Shamali Sarkar. She is from Sundarbans. She's a Zari worker. She was not able to earn too much till we came up with solar microgrids. And then she was able to double her income, not only just double her income, but also provide better education to her son. They are the first generation to get electricity. Now imagine there is an operation going on and there is a power outage. Imagine the fate of the person. Yes, it is true. It has happened in a UP district hospital where there was a power outage when a major critical operation was going on. The diesel genset stopped working and the doctors were at their wits of how to handle the situation. So what they did, they took out their mobile lights and they conducted the operation. Imagine the fate of the person lying on the operation table. None of us in this room want to be in that kind of a situation. And hence, we came up with a solution. We solarized the rural healthcare centers to give a better perspective to the patients. And here is our beneficiary speaking about.
Now we have the solar system, and that actually attributes to our many of our operational needs of the machine. So now what we have with the 10 kV is used for the sonography, and we have a water pumping system, and many of the lights, then fans, and then mainly now the oxygen concentrators are running upon this power supply. We have now stopped using the generator to a great extent. Otherwise, for every now and then we had been putting on the generator, and long time we had to run generator, especially for sonography and all. Now with this, we keep the machine on, but then we don't need to keep the generator on.
Ours is an agrarian society, yet 1 out of 3 pumps that is used for irrigation is a diesel pump, which creates so much smoke. And not only that, it creates a burning in the pocket of a farmer. Our solution to it is solar water pump. Let's look at the video.
There's a severe lack of reliable energy in rural India. And there are 10 million diesel pumps running just for irrigation purpose. Either farmers are having to depend just on monsoon's rain-fed crops, or they are having to buy expensive and polluting diesel gensets to meet their irrigation needs, which is taking up 30% of their overall expenses.
Around 80% of women are in agriculture. However, only 13% of them have landholdings, which disables them to have loan access.
One of the biggest environmental impacts is by replacing expensive and polluting diesel with solar, and through which we estimate till date we have reduced 7,600 tons of greenhouse gas emissions. The future of energy for agriculture is decentralized distributed energy generation through solar. Because it's practically not possible to extend the grid lines everywhere. And that's how solar can play a transformative effect to change the entire landscape of
rural India. So now I would like to call upon Piyush to look deeper into it.
Thank you. So you're a huge inspiration for us. And each one sitting in this room is doing such incredible work, and that really motivates us to dream big. पर कोई भी बड़ा काम सोचने के लिए अपने गांव के साथियों को तो साथ में लेके चलना होगा ना. And that's what at Adani we really understand the role of infrastructure has towards nation building. And we are over here to build that infrastructure for the last mile. We've developed some innovative technologies that look at providing solutions across the development spectrum. We are also making it more smart, integrating IoT. But here, making the product is only a small part of the problem. What we look to do is really how we are able to effectively reach to the last mile and serve the bottom of the pyramid. And one of the main problems, as we've all encountered with solar, is the after-sale service. And especially when it goes to rural areas, so how we are being able to train technicians at a local level that is able to provide cost-effective and quick service. And particularly, we look to see how we can make it more affordable, because our main goal is how we can make solar affordable and accessible to the underserved population. And that's where, let's take the case of some examples. It's not possible for a farmer to immediately buy an expensive capex for a solar pump. So we get a rural entrepreneur who's operating the pump and selling on a pay-per-use basis. Similarly, we create different joint liability groups, so there's not one burden on a particular family, and that gets spread out, and that group also becomes a little bit more bankable. Now, can we imagine how many of us would be able to afford a car if there was no loan available? Very few of us. So can we expect that the farmer will be able to get a loan for a solar pump or a solar system? And if we go to a branch manager, the branch manager will say, "Arey Baba, ये तो बहुत रिस्की है, पता नहीं चलेगा नहीं चलेगा क्या होगा, उसके ऊपर में इनके पास तो पैसे ही नहीं है, मेरा लोन का रिकवरी होगा कि नहीं होगा, मैं तो नहीं देता हूं भाई इस पे लोन." So what does the farmer do? And that's how our innovative financing models, wherein we've leveraged first loss default guarantee corpus, with which we've tied up with multiple banks that are giving loans. Also, these group models are making them more bankable. So we're working on different ways with integrating different government subsidies in order, and then the loan is on the balance amount of the system. So those are different financial innovations that really make it much more affordable. So I would like to talk more about our impact stories that we've done for different things. So especially when it comes to agriculture and livelihoods, our main goal is how we can achieve more crop per drop, along with doubling farmers' income. And with that, I would just like to share a small snippet of
ডিজেল
what the
মেশিন ছিল,
farmers
তো অতদিন আমরা জল উঠাতে পারছি না, সময়ে তেল কিনতেও মানে পয়সা জুটছে না। তো এই সোলার বসার পর এটাতে তো আর তেল লাগছে না, তাহলে এইটাতে মানে সূর্যের তাপেই মানে জলটা উঠছে, ততদিন চলছে না, এবারে চলছে। এই সোলারটা বসার পর আমাদের এখন চলছে। তো জলটা ওঠার পরে আমরা সেই অতটা পয়সা মানে খরচা হচ্ছে না, ঠিক আমরা মানে চাষ ব্যবহার করছি, ওইখানে থেকে আমরা ফসল বিক্রি করে ওইখানে থেকে আমাদের কিছুটা মানে পয়সা।
Especially when it comes to health, we saw the video. It's absolutely mission critical. And when it comes to saving lives, there are absolutely no shortcuts. I would say rather power cuts. So we don't just stop at setting up a solar rooftop system in a rural health center. We go about with better load optimization, replacing the energy efficient, making the less energy efficient guzzlers to more equipments. So let's take the example over here. We've installed a DC fridge for vaccine storage and other critical drug storage that is able to significantly reduce their power consumption by 60%. Similarly, in the other picture, we've changed to all the BLDC fans and LED lights. And with all this, with better load management, able to reduce the size of the system and provide better output. Along with that, we all understand that there are so many diseases which are waterborne. So along with the solar pump, we combine the purification unit, which can serve at a community level. And that's what we are able to serve lakhs of clean drinking water to people in various parts of different villages. And we know that Adani is is the biggest manufacturer of solar modules, and I'm sure there would be some modules that would not be able to meet the quality standards. And if those can be recycled into our ecosystem, your waste can become our wealth and it can actually save people's lives. So there are so many synergies that could be explored over there. Particularly when we talk about communities, we normally, when we go to a village, we meet two kinds of people. One would say, अरे ये सोलर काम करेगा, ये सब मशीन इतना इक्विपमेंट चला पाएगा, इसमें है क्या क्षमता है क्या? और देयर इज द अदर वन हु वुड से, अरे ये तो काम ही नहीं करता है, कौन इंस्टॉल करके चले गया, थोड़ा दिन में खराब हो गया, फोन करते रहो, सर्विस सेंटर में कोई आता नहीं है, पता नहीं इसका क्या करे, तो इसको तो उठा के ले जाओ. So there's such a big trust deficit. And what we do is just bridge that gap. We do a lot of on-ground activation activities, and of course, our existing then customers become one of our main mascots, and also look to leverage on digital platforms. And with that, we've been able to deploy various community-level solutions. We've set up more than 250 solar model villages, and the microgrids not only power households, but also the micro enterprises and the village community centers along with the village hearts. Along with that, can we imagine that we're walking in an absolute pitch darkness lane where there's no street lights? So just something as simple as solar street lights and high mass systems powered by solar, they're able to just bring a much more cohesive atmosphere in the village. Women have started to feel more safe, come out, be more productive, and having a more catalytic effect. When we talk about education, it's all about building the future generation. And we've partnered with various different institutes to solarize rural educational institutes, called schools and colleges. And with that, along with that, we go much beyond. But before that, just wanted to share a clip.
ইলেকট্রিসিটি তো একটা বিরাট প্রবলেম হবে, তাই না? কয়লার ক্রাইসিস হবে, কয়লার ক্রাইসিস হলে তাপবিদ্যুৎ থেকে ইলেকট্রিসিটি উৎপাদন বন্ধ হয়ে যাবে। সেই সমস্ত ক্ষেত্রে এইটা তো আর কোনোদিন বন্ধ হবে না। এটা বন্ধ হয়ে যাওয়া মানে সানজে দিনে চলে যাবে, আমরা সবাই চলে যাবো, তাহলে আমাদের আর কোনো এনার্জির প্রয়োজন হবে না।
So what we do is that we also operate a government-approved technician training center. We conduct 3-month, 1-month training programs, and that is what is deployed across in various different villages that we work in. We also have a lot of much more exciting and integration and catch them young, having some fun workshops, taking them for exposure visits, and just being able to build our community. So over the last 12 years, we've impacted 1 million lives, spread across 13,000 villages. And in the next 5 years, we want to scale that from 1 million to reaching out to 10 million. And we've identified 4 different pillars in which we can grow. We definitely seek support and blessings of the Adani Group, on explore different synergies from product development to how we can integrate our solutions in the interventions of the foundation to various different group companies, and really take this ahead. And just like this, we need many more. There are many more Shamoli Sarkars here in the villages that are wanting appropriate solutions that can take them up the energy ladder. So I just hand it over to Shweta to summarize.
We started with a dream to solve India's most pressing problems. And we realized that the poor are in poverty because of lack of reliable energy. And that is where we came. Behind the heart and soul of Onaji lies a fierce commitment to empower lives with solar solutions and make a more equitable and sustainable Bharat. Thank you so much. For this, we require your blessings.
Friends, we had a company in Green Talks 2021 which provides prosthetic hands for the common man. It's called RoboBionics. Our chairman sir gifted one of those to our employees. Let us see through the video how that hand has changed Chandrakant's life day to day.
मैं चंद्रकांत वजे, मैं अदानी यूनिवर्सिटी में सर्विस करता हूँ। करीबन आज 27 साल हो गए। मैं जन्म से ही दिव्यांग हूँ। मैं बचपन में स्कूल जाता था, बारिश आता था, छाता खोलने को मेरे को नहीं जमता था, रेनकोट पहनने को मेरे को नहीं जमता था, लेकिन कभी मुझे ऐसा लगा नहीं। मेरी माँ, मेरे पिताजी, मेरे भाई बहन सब लोगों ने मुझे संभाला। आज मैं शादीशुदा हूँ, मेरी औरत हैंडीकैप नहीं है। सब लोगों ने मुझे पूछा कि वो हैंडीकैप है क्या, आप हैंडीकैप हो तो वो हैंडीकैप है क्या। मेरी औरत और मेरे बच्चों हर जगह मुझे सपोर्ट कर दिया। सबसे बड़ी ताकत मुझे वो लोग ने दी। मैं काम करके घर पे आता हूँ, तब बच्चा स्कूल में रहता है, जब वो आता है तो उसके साथ थोड़ा पर खेलने के लिए मेरे उसको क्रिकेट अच्छा लगता है, तो उसके साथ मैं क्रिकेट खेलता हूँ। और बच्चा कुछ टाइम मैं मेरे मम्मी के साथ भी लेता हूँ। मम्मी भी मुझे मेरी राह दिखती रहती है, इसके साथ जिससे बात करता हूँ। मैं नालासोपारा में रहता हूँ और मुझे सर्विस के लिए हमारा बम्बई में जाना पड़ता है। बम्बई का लाइफलाइन ट्रेन ही है, मुझे हर सुबह ट्रेन पकड़ के जाना पड़ता है। मैं अदानी इलेक्ट्रिसिटी में मीटर रीडिंग का काम कर रहा हूँ। ये मीटर रीडिंग में मुझे मेरा बॉस, मेरे कलीग, मेरे सीनियर लोग, सब लोग मेरे को हेल्प कर रहे हैं। इसकी वजह से मुझे कभी भी नहीं लगा कि मैं ऑफिस में दिव्यांग होकर के सब लोग अच्छे और मैं दिव्यांग हूँ, कभी नहीं लगा मेरे को। इतना साल से अदानी ग्रुप से जुड़ा रहा हूँ और अदानी ग्रुप परिवार से मुझे बहुत ग्रोथ मिला। मैं आशा करता हूँ इसी तरह मुझे अदानी ग्रुप से ग्रोथ मिलती रहे। आज मैं मेरा हाथ लगा के बैठा हूँ, सबके सामने मैं जाके खड़ा हो सकता हूँ। इसलिए मैं अदानी साहब और ग्रीन टॉक को शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ, क्योंकि उन्होंने मुझे रोबोवाणी की मदद से ये हाथ प्रदान किया।
We were able to work with organizations where we could deploy much more hands on people who were in need of them. We look forward to being a pioneer, not just in India, but globally, where we can show the world that we have created a made in India bionic device that is suitable for anyone, anywhere across the world.
मैं सोच से सक्षम हूँ, इसलिए मैं सक्षम हूँ।
Well, there are thousands of companies that manufacture drones in nation. But is that enough? Is manufacturing the drone really enough? Well, it is about being able to use the drone to serve last of the last villages of Bharat. The social impact when you transform the life of a farmer, when you are able to get the medicines to the persons who are at the bottom of the pyramid.
Manisha, do you know, in our Rigved, the Maruts are storm deities that wear golden helmets and breastplates and use axes to split clouds so that rain can fall.
Oh, wow.
Well, these three IITians from Guwahati, Prem, Sai, and Suraj, are making rain of medicines, pesticides, seed balls, making sure our farmers, our people don't have to suffer. Not only this, they are on a mission to create successful entrepreneurs in our rural Bharat.
He was born in the city of Lakes, Hyderabad, enjoying creating stories. It was then when he came across Rani, who, along with other villagers, was suffering from malaria. Let us hear the story of Rani from one of the founders of Marut Drones, Sai Kumar.
Good morning, everyone. I think we all know that sound that annoys you while you're working from home, that keeps you awake sometimes, giving you sleepless nights, makes you sick, and also your family vulnerable. Yes, I'm talking about mosquito. Mosquito is a very small, tiny being, but it has become dangerous and deadly to human beings because it transfers vector-borne diseases like malaria, dengue, chikungunya, making millions of people sick and more than 7 lakh people dying every year. Even though there has been significant increase in medical care, we are unable to save a lot of lives. Not just lives, it is also putting a huge dent on the finances of people, especially the poor, making the livelihood much, much harder. So this is the case not just in all over the world, especially in India, especially in the rural regions, you would see a lot of people being affected by mosquitoes leading to diseases. I come from a city of lakes. We have a lot of beautiful lakes. They also, unfortunately, become the breeding grounds for the mosquitoes. Every year, especially during rainy season, municipality workers work really hard to clean this lake and spray larvicides. As you could see, they work day and night for days and sometimes weeks to clean the lake and spray the larvicides to control the mosquitoes. But still, it's a slow, tedious, and to an extent, sometimes dangerous process because it's being done manually. That is when we thought, being engineers and entrepreneurs, kuch jugaad karte, we'll try to do something. And that is when we came up with a drone, which has a 10 liters. Again, some sound. That is the sound of the solution that we have discovered. And that is the drone which can solve the problem that you were hearing in the start. So we made a drone with a 10 liters capacity. With the help of municipality workers, you could load the solution into this drone and fly the drone over the lakes and spray the larvicide to control the mosquito breeding. What takes days and weeks could be done in hours. What takes lakhs of money could be done in thousands. And most importantly, it is fast, it is scalable, and it saves a lot of money and is economical. And as you could see, it could reach to the places which normally humans won't be able to reach and control the breeding 60% better than how it is being done in the manual process. With this product, we do things 10x faster, saves 90% of the cost, and most importantly, we were able to cover huge amount of lakes in a very short time, controlling the mosquito breeding in the city. And like I said, rather than spending 5 to 6 lakhs, the government is currently spending only 25,000 rupees per lake in city of Hyderabad. This was 4 years back when we first done our Jugaad. I know a lot of you have seen drone technology, very fast-forward technologies and all, but what we are doing is basically how we can use this technology for impact. After having this small success, well, we came to know about a news. It's about the cancer train and Yavatmal event. What is this cancer train? This is a train that goes from Rajasthan to Punjab, where a lot of farmers travel to get the treatment of cancer. That is very sad. And we thought, okay, we have built this spraying drone, why don't we use it for spraying? And we started taking the drone to the farmers. That is when we discovered, not just spraying, there are a lot of activities in farming which are very laborious, like transplanting, fertilizer broadcasting. Not just laborious, but also things like spraying are hazardous. Most importantly, what we have found that during the peak seasons of spraying, due to the shortage of the labor, farmers end up not protecting their crop well and losing up to 35% of their produce. On one side, imagine a farmer who has put all his work to grow the crop and suddenly he finds out that pest has infected. There's panic. There's panic spraying happens, excessive spraying in some areas, and uneven spraying. This leads to increase in the cost of input on one side, and in the end, due to inadequate crop protection, there is low yield per acre. This is the case all over India. Then at Marut, we thought, how can we make this world a better place for our farmers? How can we move the laborious and hazardous ways of doing operations in farming to more of a smart farming using technology? That is when we started building smart drones for smarter farming. We have built our first product called AG365. It is smart in its way where the hardware is built in a certain way, like a tractor. The head remains the same, but you can swap the payloads and use it for different operations in the farming. If you're going to do rice crop, then you attach a direct seeding and do direct wet seeding. And then when the crop goes bigger, you could attach a camera and monitor where the pest is infected. And when you find where the pest is infected, you change the attachment to spraying tank, spray the pesticide. And when you want to drop fertilizer, you change the payload to fertilizer broadcaster and do the fertilizer broadcast. It's like from seeding to harvest, you can use only one drone for multiple purposes. It's not just the hardware, but also the software has been built to make it smart with intelligence, where it is embedded with all the standard operational procedures, scientific ones. Just by a couple of clicks, by selecting the crop, the drone will take care of at what height, what pressure, and with what speed they have to spray the chemical. And if you are going for multiple drones, you can manage them as well. It is autonomous, it is customizable, and most importantly, it is scalable. We didn't stop there. Just by giving hardware and software is not enough to let this technology penetrate into the market or to the grassroots level. Training is a priority. People look at drones as aliens sometimes. So we have taken up the responsibility to establish academy by collaborating with different institutes where we train pilots for license and also upskill them to operate drones. Not just men, also a lot of women. Recently, 100 plus self-help group women have been graduated from our academies. Recently, government has launched a scheme to give drones to self-help group women, wherein they can become independent on their own and use these drones for their livelihood. And we are playing our own fair share in this initiative. So like this, we have understood that the drone should be built as an ecosystem than as just as a product. So overall benefits are very clear. What takes hours to do a task can be done in minutes. And in the end, our research with the universities, as we have found that there is a decrease in the input cost, but at least by 15%, and increase in the yield at least by 20%. But 80% of farmers in India are small, marginal and semi-marginal farmers owning less than 5 acres of land. They won't be able to afford this drone. And even if they do, hardly they'll use it for a day. So it doesn't make any sense. So then we were wondering, how can we take this technology to the grassroots level? That is when we realized the rural entrepreneurs, the youth who wants to do something new, especially in their own village, take the entrepreneurial journey. We could give this drone to them as a service, and they can use the drone as a service, as a profit-making proposition, and provide the drone per acre spraying or per acre broadcasting to the farmers. So Marut gives the drones to the entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs will take the drones and provide it as a service to the farmers. Or from our side, we give the hardware, we give the integrated software and training. Most importantly, we give extended services like warranty support, insurance support, subsidy help, and all these things. Also, whenever we get bulk orders from the corporates or other farmers, we redirect them to these entrepreneurs. So on an average, even they are charging 500 rupees per an acre. An entrepreneur working will be easily able to spread 10 to 20 acres depending on the land size and also how they are located. And per year, they'll easily be able to make 6 lakhs per year. Imagine being in rural India and making 6 lakhs. It's a really good amount. Rather than me talking too much, let me show you a story of one of the entrepreneurs.
मेरा नाम मोहन अंकुश चोरमले, गांव चोंडी जलगांव, टेल मालेगांव, डिस्ट्रिक्ट नासिक। मैं महाराष्ट्र से हूँ। ड्रोन स्प्रेइंग बिजनेस के पहले मैं खेती कर रहा था, अभी भी खेती कर रहा हूँ। लेकिन मैं जो अपने मैनुअल से जो जैसे पुरानी अपने पिताजी की जैसे वो करते थे वैसे ही खेती कर रहा था। जो मुझे ड्रोन के बारे में पता चला तो वो ड्रोन का भी आगे मैंने बिजनेस उससे साथ चालू किया। ये ड्रोन का जो बिजनेस करने से पहले मैं खेती का जो मुनाफा था उतना ही कमा रहा था। जो मुझे खेती मौसम में बदलाव हो जाने के बाद खेती का नुकसान हो जाता था, उसमें कुछ मिलता था, कुछ नहीं मिलता था, उसी के ऊपर डिपेंड रहता था। लेकिन अभी मैं पर डे 7 से 10 एकड़ तक यानी कि लगभग महीने में 50 से 60 हज़ार तक कमा रहा हूँ। जो मेरा खेती में भी उसका फायदा हुआ और खेती का इसमें भी फायदा हुआ।
So that's the story of one entrepreneur. Like this, we have hundreds of entrepreneurs right now who have taken Marut drones and providing drone as a service at a very grassroots level by charging the farmers per acre. And you can imagine as this technology spreads, how much impact it could have for the farmers of our country. Well, this is nice. And we at Marut thought, okay, what else we could do? Then we had a bigger challenge, which all over the world we are facing. Yes, I'm talking about climate change. and global warming. This is a buzzword, and it is the reality that we have to face right now. Why this is happening for different reasons? Of course, carbon footprint has been increasing, but most importantly, a lot of people are cutting trees, and there is a decrease in the green cover. And the rate which trees are cut and the rate at which the trees are growing is completely not in balance. This is affecting the wildlife, and also this is affecting the lives of a lot of people. Actually, this is happening majorly in countries like China, Russia, and India. We are cutting a lot more trees than what we are planting. Of course, all of you might have, when you are kids or right, you might be taking a sampling and planting it for the greater good, but that's not enough. We have to do this afforestation at a rapid pace with a huge scale. That is when again the Jugaad mindset kicked in for us. And we thought of making another drone, which has a payload that can take seed balls and fly over the area where we want to do afforestation, carpet bomb these seed balls so that later, especially before rainy season, and once the rain hits the ground, these seeds will germinate and become trees. So this was a traditional method. Usually people used to carry seed balls and spread them, but with drones, you can do it much faster. A drone can easily cover 10 hectares to 15 hectares easily, and up to 20,000 seed balls could be dropped in a day. This, I'm talking only one drone. And it can go to places where normally human beings won't be able to go, whether it's because it is deserted or because it is highly dense forest where deforestation has happened. So now, if a single drone can drop 20,000 seed balls, imagine what multiple drones can do in multiple locations all over India. When we started thinking about this, we decided to launch a campaign. In this campaign, we want to bring together corporate companies with their CSR fund, NGOs with their community connect, and our technology, and use this, and the community makes the seed balls, and with our drones, we spread these seed balls all over the area where we want afforestation to happen. This campaign we have called Haravara. We have started it in 2021. The vision and the mission was to plant 1 billion trees by 2030. This was launched in Hyderabad years back by our brand ambassador, Rana Daggubati, actor, you might be knowing him. He was fortunate to associate with us. And from then, starting from Telangana, where we have dropped more than 50 lakh seed balls, we expanded our wings further to Arunachal Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, and like this to all other states. And we are aiming at 1 billion seed balls to be dropped by end of 2030. One more important thing about this particular initiative, it is not just about technology and all, it is also a community activity where there is a spread of word to increase the green cover, in which we call the locals to make the seed balls, and especially that will be women, and for each seed ball we pay some money, which is CSR funds. So there is impact on the environment side and there is impact on the social side. So far, Marut, through Marut's app, we have able to manage more than 180 lakes, impacting more than 10 million people. And with Seedcopter, we have so far already dropped 1 crore seeds and aiming at 1 billion seeds soon. I know Adani Group has also taken a pledge to plant 1 trillion trees, and definitely we can join hands to do something great. Now, I want to talk about one simple thing. I know like a lot of people have seen drones, especially a lot of gentlemen sitting here might have used it for surveillance, geomapping, might be using them for cleaning the solar panels. I might not be the one, or we might not be the ones, the best ones to make the drones. There are a million people who can make the drones. But what we have done is there any impact on the grassroots level with this technology? And can we play any role in that? And that is where I would call Jugaad, the Bharat innovation we have done, peaks here and there for the drone technology to reach to the grassroots level. have impact in the villages, in the rural areas. Is with that vision, we are moving forward. So far, we have built different kinds of drones, as you have seen some of them, Marut Zap, Seedcopter, and AG365. There's one more drone we have built for medical delivery. For a short time, I'm not talking about that. These all are designed and developed in India, Bharat. But unfortunately, not manufactured. That's fine for me, because whether the parts come from China or Korea, as long as it is having an impact in India, especially in rural area, I'm more than happy. And with a team of 94, we are working day and night to take this technology to the grassroots level. Currently, we are doing demonstrations in all Gram Panchayats of Uttarakhand, Haryana, to take this technology forward. What we envision is, with support from people like you, we can move our Jugaad approach a step further. We could do more R&D, more indigenous manufacturing, and make these drones at an economic scale more affordable and reach this technology to the grassroots level. Thank you, everyone. Thanks a lot for this opportunity. Thanks for giving this stage. Thank you.
Last year, chairperson of our Adani Foundation, Dr. Preeti Adani, said something which keeps resonating to me every time I see these entrepreneurs.
Really? What was that?
We exist not because the odds favor us. We exist because we challenge the odds. The kite rises not with the wind, but against it.
And friends, this is our Adani philosophy as well.
Absolutely true. Speaking of challenging the odds, the next speaker is a living example of challenging everything: the system, the policies, people's mindset, for something he believed and has been passionate about since forever. Lieutenant Colonel Manish Ahuja, also known as the Biomass Energy Man of the Year, strongly believes that instead of only focusing on growing trees, we need to stop burning the trees and find alternative sustainable solutions. He has fought his way to create a sustainable space with the government and change the policies for the good of us, for the good of our future. Let's welcome on stage Lieutenant Colonel Manish Ahuja from Prespil.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Jai Hind. I think at the onset, thanks to the Adani Green Talks team for researching us, for inviting us. Special thanks to Mr. Srini for reaching out to me and making this platform available for entrepreneurs to be able to reach out to the world. So a big thank you and a big shout out to everybody here. I'm Lieutenant Colonel Manish Ahuja, the promoter, chairman, managing director of Prespil, Punjab Renewable Energy Systems Private Limited. And we work in the space of farm agri residue to bioenergy. And I'm consciously using the word energy because the paradigm has shifted from electricity to energy. However, what we do uniquely is stop the open field burning of farm agri residue. And to give you the flavor, most of us sitting here, North India, Pan India, this is what we are today. Gray, black lungs. It should be pink. Do we know what's inside us? So somebody tells us. Who tells us? Please listen to this.
So I'm a chest surgeon who's been practicing in the city of New Delhi for 30 years now. So I have been operating on people's lungs for 30 years. And I have seen a change in the color of lungs of people. So from a mostly pink lungs, as I used to see way back in 1988 when I started my career at AIIMS New Delhi, only in smokers I would see black dots and black deposits. Today, I rarely see a pink lung, irrespective of the age of the patients I'm operating. We find that a large number of the chemicals which are present in the cigarette smoke are also present in the polluted air. So if chemical A, B, C, and D as part of cigarette smoke are known and accepted to cause lung cancer, and the chemicals A, B, C, and D are also present in the polluted air, do you need Einstein's brain to conclude that polluted air is causing cancer? And it's no wonder that not today, but 6 years back, WHO accepted polluted air as a carcinogen of category 1. Now today, our exposure is starting at birth. A child who's born in New Delhi city today, when air quality index is 600 plus, particle 2.5 is 500 plus, which is equal to 25 plus cigarettes. Every newborn who's born in the city of New Delhi is smoking 25 cigarettes from the first day of his or her life. And if you have smoking starting from the first breath of your life, by the time you are 25 years of age, you've been a smoker for 25 years.
So, a question for everybody here to answer. How many of you are smokers? Kindly raise your hands. And I think the audience should be all hands raised. But what's more worrying is the small kids sitting here, they are also smokers because of us. And our collective non-working in the segment where we have the solution. And what Prespel has done in the last decade is show the solution within India and to the world. And today we are at a cusp of what we can do and deliver. So the Delhi problem is 42 million metric tons of rice paddy straw burning. 42 million metric tons. India is burning 1,500 million metric tons. That's the number. The second largest number of farm fires per square kilometer in India is Madhya Pradesh. The doctor doesn't talk about Madhya Pradesh. Are they not citizens of India? So as farm agri practice, for the fields to get cleared, the farmer burns it, and we need to provide a solution to the farmer. And the solution exists, so we'll talk about it. It's also got a cost. So the cost is closer to 3,000 rupees per ton of farm agri residue waste, which we need to handle. And if that be the case, and it's a simple mathematics to do at 1,500 million metric tons, that's the quantum of capital required in a short period of 45 to 60 days. Even government is baffled how to bring this capital forward. So it needs public-private partnership. It needs long-term sustainable models. It needs such agri residue to get converted to value so that at least even if we don't make money, we save on health, environment, and the social benefits. So how do we do it, or what did we go about it? We built with the farmer a village-level entrepreneur. Empower the farmer to enter into their fields and remove this farm agri residue out and create a market in a decentralized manner in 40, 50 kilometers for that product, now value carbon sequestered by photosynthesis, regular atmosphere. So we don't have to actually remove carbon from, seabeds and coal mines, etc. You have carbon available, which we don't want it to be in the atmosphere. The plant takes it in a 4-month cycle and use this carbon molecule, carbon atom. And that's what we do. But how do we do it? We do it wherever it is pre-sold for us. So we do it for a third-party client. We do it for ourselves for converting it into energy. And this is the model. We engage with farmers. And if you look at the top 2 photographs, that's a use case in Karnataka and Haveri, where a gentleman in 12 months working with Prespel bought a second-hand car, 2 new tractors, employs more than 30 people full-time with him, working around farm agri residue resource. And I'm not calling it waste because it's energy value. Look at how biomass comes to us when we go into an area, because we start providing market. And then we bring mechanization, then we bring equipment, then we bring resource, we bring training, we bring capital, we bring market, and now we bring product. So that's how it starts, moving. We do storage. So now a resource needs to go because of a short window of aggregation into warehousing, open field warehousing. We build warehouses, and then financial jugglery starts coming in. Working capital, warehouse discounting, product, and this is all what we have worked through. I read very recently about Adani Group having secured $500 million from USDFC. With all humility, it took me 5 years, and Prespel secured 100% credit guarantee for this segment of value chain from USDFC. And the CEO USDFC came down to sign with me, said this is a model we need to take all over the world. And they told me, the smallest check we have ever signed is with you. So that's the kind of model. So we need equipment specific to purpose, fit for purpose, and that's what we do: manufacture, design, innovate. So the photographs that you see here, all the trolley systems are specific to a type of biomass. Low bed flat trolley to transport 12 to 14 tons per trolley trip, vis-a-vis what conventionally exists is 2 tons. Optimization, business model, and I personally believe with what is called as the KISS philosophy. Keep it sweet and simple. We tend to overcomplicate it. Solution is on the ground. So work with the KISS philosophy and put it on ground. And once it's put on ground, large corporates as yours, don't bash me for it, always tend to think, kaise hoga, nahi hoga, simple solution hai, chal raha hai. And we go and tell them, I used to go and tell them, hota hai, karna padta hai, hum karte hain, hum aapko solution dete hain, aur jab hum aap kar ko de denge aapko, tab paise de dena. And that's where we are today. We work with every large corporate, including we are promised to work with yours. Mr. Anil Sarlana just walked out. He said, we have to work together. Let's sign up. Mr. Suresh with Adani Gas, let's sign up. And yes, that's what we want to do, because we want to showcase you and believe in us that this is doable. Then we take into storage, because for a client, we need to deliver energy 24/7, 365 days without fail. Their production, chemical, pharma, brewery, drinks, anything, medicine cannot stop. And if they have to decarbonize, they need a solution which works. Today, I think I'm here because my solutions are working in 18 states in India. It's working in 2 countries in Africa. It was not so 5-7 years ago. So the belief needs to start coming that it works. So we build warehousing, and it has to be fit for purpose, decentralized of what is locally available there. So vocal for local. So we use the farm agri residue which is available locally. Cotton stalk, corn cob, paddy straw, juliflora, etc. Storage. So again, we've started building warehousing. Can be multi-purpose use. Now, one is how do you do it? And again, it's learning which we take from large corporate entrepreneurial houses like the Adani. The entire value chain has to be done, but you need to start somewhere. So we start with consulting. We build the ecosystem. We take it to supply chain management. We are the only consulting company division which what we give as a report, and we don't put a disclaimer short word on it. We deliver that report into actuality in terms of performance. Then we densify it so that now you can store it and move it. Then we build, own and operate assets. Boiler assets, going into CBG assets, going into ethanol, sustainable aviation fuel, because now there is a market which has come. And we do various R&D with academic institutes, corporates, to continuously working for a singular aim of that biomass not burning in the fields and getting used for economic value. What's the impact? 200,000 tons per year, 150,000 tons of CO2 emitted, and through the banking channel, financial inclusion, putting money into the farmer VLE's bank account and reporting it, getting it audited. That's the kind of, and what we've achieved is the informal sector to bring it into a formal sector, into a corporate sector, a board governed entity. And what we need today is hundreds and thousands of more Prespels in India and in the world. And I think this is something which should galvanize this platform. Lakhs of people hearing it online live should get galvanized that it can be done, provided you get on the ground to do it. We have a footprint, as I said, 18 states in India. Internationally now, Prespel got tagged in a tweet for winning the Mission Innovation Company in Vancouver. And that's how I learned. We didn't take the model there. They want 30 countries want this model to be adapted to ensure that the SDG goals that they've set get kind of preponed and enhanced. You work towards that. So where are we moving to? We are moving to biofuel. So the molecular part of the carbon is where we are moving to. Compressed biogas, 2G ethanol, drop-in fuel, sustainable aviation fuel, green hydrogen, all from biomass. But more importantly, in terms of the impact, we are also moving for replacement of wood. Somebody here spoke about carpet bombing and putting trees. We are a society where for every Hindu cremation, we cut 2 trees. So one side we are saying plant trees, but the other side we are saying we have a culture and we are going to cut trees. During COVID, I saw horror stories of single pyre, multiple bodies, and I called up somebody in Pune Municipal Corporation and said, I have briquettes lying, thousands of tons. Why don't I send it to you and you can give a Hindu cremation on this body? So I sent trucks of briquettes there. They couldn't do it. And I said, why couldn't they do it? Because nobody was on the ground. So we took that up as a initiative 3 years back. And I went to my board and I said, give me 1 crore to burn. And they said, what is this? I said, no, I want to do it. So my board gave me 1 crore to burn. In 3 years, I have burned that 1 crore. But what have I achieved? Or what have we achieved as a society? This is city of Aurangabad. Through tenders which urban local bodies did, understanding how cremation happens in India, the numbers speak for itself. This is data for 12 months. We started from 29%. This data shows 80% of Hindu cremation in city of Aurangabad is on 100% briquettes. And 60% of that goes to the farmer through the bank linkage numbers that I showed. Simple. So D2C segment. And now for those 2 trees not being cut, carbon credit is available. So bulk of it is also financed. And we have gone to government and said, you are giving carbon credits for putting trees. Kindly allow us and give us carbon credits for ensuring trees don't get cut. Then somebody said, we want to do this from CSR. But is it allowed? So we went to government and government has issued a notification saying cremation from CSR is allowed. So corporates can take it up. What would we be? An implementing arm and many more press so. Now, again, I am ex-Fauji. My father was a Fauji. Bulk of my life, 2 years in each station. And how does entrepreneurship happen? One of the elements of it is the capital that you need to do something. 80% of the capital in Pressfell today, equity, debt, working capital, term loan, is foreign capital. And I talk to myself and ask, what has happened to the Indian capital? What has happened to the Indian corporates? What has happened to the Indian banks? And we are working in India. So whatever I do and the growth that I achieve, actually money somebody would take away abroad. So can't we do things for ourselves and get that, it's time for the Atmanirbhar Bharat. Let's do it for ourselves. We know how to do it. And the adage of, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, and then Jai Vigyan is the business model of Pressfell. That's exactly what we do. Top hierarchy, vertical hierarchy, everybody, ex-Faujis all over India. We hire them. They know how to get trained. We train them. And then they do the job. And I get the time to come and speak to an audience like this. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
We all rode our cycle and pedaled our way to our destination at some point in our life. Some of us did in childhood for fun, and some of us still do it for health reasons. But let me emphasize, for a lot of us, like really lot of us, still cycle is the only mean to travel. Whether it is the scorching heat in the summer, or it is late night after the tiring work, the rural Bharat has to travel back to their home and pedal back home.
This generation has been the generation of automation. Why can't we automate pedaling? Turning a simple bicycle into an affordable e-bike, which is not only powered by solar electricity, but by pedaling as well. His focus to provide sustainable Vidyut is immovable, like our Dhruv star. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome our last speaker of the day, Gursaurabh Singh, the founder of Dhruv Vidyut, who, as he claims, accidentally created e-bike out of a box, along with his team, Simran and Rituraj.
ये श्याम सिंह जी हैं, ये श्याम सिंह जी के बेटा जी हैं और ये श्याम सिंह जी के पोता जी हैं। श्याम सिंह जी के पोते श्याम सिंह जी से बड़े अलग हैं। वो सी फॉर कंप्यूटर जानते हैं, सी फॉर कैट नहीं जानते, डी फॉर दूरदर्शन नहीं जानते, वाई फॉर यूट्यूब जानते हैं, फेसबुक व्हाट्सएप में काफी दिलचस्पी रखते हैं, काफी अलग है, बहुत रफ्तार है, बहुत टेक्नोलॉजी है बेटा जी की, पोता जी की जिंदगी में। पोता जी कभी कभी श्याम सिंह जी से पूछते हैं कि दादाजी क्या मैं भी आप ही की तरह और पापा की तरह साइकिल पे ही रहूंगा, मेरी भी जिंदगी 5-6 किलोमीटर में ही सीमित रहेगी आप दोनों की तरह? तो श्याम सिंह जी कंफ्यूज हो जाते हैं कि क्या जवाब दें इसका। श्याम सिंह जी अकेले नहीं है, अभी भी इंडिया में 50% हाउस होल्ड्स में यही साइकिल एकमात्र कम्यूटिंग का साधन है। 50%। सिर्फ एक यूपी की बात करूं, यूपी की पॉपुलेशन इज लार्जर देन जर्मनी, तो अभी 75% लोग अभी भी साइकिल पे चलते हैं। 75% जो जिसका चलने का साधन है, कोई अगर व्हील चेयर में है वो आधे किलोमीटर में ही उसकी दुनिया है, कोई अगर पैदल है 3 से 4 किलोमीटर में ही जॉब है, घर है, वर्क है, साइकिल आ जाती है 5-6 किलोमीटर तक लोग जाने लगते हैं, बस वही उनकी दुनिया है। हम क्या इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, क्या डेवलपमेंट की बात करें अगर वो उस तक पहुंच ही नहीं सकता। अगर इसी दायरे को, उसके ट्रैवल के दायरे को अगर हम 40 किलोमीटर कर दें, 50 किलोमीटर कर दें, वो सब इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर तक, सब डेवलपमेंट तक, हेल्थ केयर तक, स्कूल तक, बैंक तक, सब तक पहुंच सकता है। अब ऐसा नहीं है कि ये प्रॉब्लम आपको या मुझे, मैंने डिस्कवर किया है या आपको नहीं पता या श्याम सिंह जी को नहीं पता या करोड़ों लोगों को नहीं पता। ऐसा भी नहीं है कि वो अपग्रेड नहीं करना चाहते, वो अपग्रेड करें कैसे? एक 5,000 की साइकिल है, उसके बाद सीधा 40,000 का स्कूटर है, एक्टिवा, स्प्लेंडर सब 1 लाख का हो गया। ये अपग्रेड करें तो करें कैसे? इसका एक छोटा सा सल्यूशन, मेरी एक छोटी सी कोशिश, एक मेरी इन्वेंशन है जिसका नाम है डीवेक, यानी कि ध्रुव विद्युत इलेक्ट्रिक कन्वर्जन किट। इस प्रॉब्लम को जड़ से सॉल्व करने के लिए मेरी छोटी सी कोशिश है, और ये क्या कर सकती है, क्या इम्पैक्ट ला सकती है, एग्जैक्टली कैसे ये प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करेगी, ये सिर्फ एक 2 मिनट का वीडियो है, देखते हैं। This is my co-founder Ritu, and this is DVEC. ये किसी भी एक साधारण साइकिल में फिट हो जाता है, बिना किसी कटिंग, बिना किसी ग्राइंडिंग, बिना किसी वेल्डिंग के उसको अपग्रेड कर देता है, मैजिकली टेस्ला बना देता है। ये जब इसका आइडिया मुझे आया, यार ये कोई ऐसा बहुत यूनिक आइडिया नहीं है कि सिर्फ मुझे आया होगा। आई एम श्योर कि स्कूल कॉलेज में एक ना एक बार ये आइडिया किसी ना किसी को आया ही होगा। और इसको जब मैंने कोरोना में सीरियसली लेना शुरू किया कि ये करना जरूरी है, तो दो चीजें सबसे बड़ी चैलेंज मुझे सामने दिख रही थी। एक कि ये रेट्रोफिट होना चाहिए, किसी एग्जिस्टिंग साइकिल में बिना मॉडिफिकेशन के फिट होना चाहिए। पूरा नया प्रोडक्ट क्वाइट लिटरली अगर टेस्ला भी बना दे तो वो करोड़ों लोगों तक जाएगी कैसे? तो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन में ही 20-25 साल लग जाएंगे। ये एक पहला चैलेंज था। ये 13 डिजाइन मैंने बनाए और ये 14th डिजाइन है, जो फाइनली 3 साल बाद मुझे लगा कि ये बिना किसी मॉडिफिकेशन में, पेन में जैसे ढक्कन लगता है, जैसे यूएसबी फिट होती है, ये साइकिल में ऐसे फिट होता है। एक दूसरा काफी बड़ा चैलेंज कॉस्ट को लेके भी था कि भले ही इसमें बहुत सारे फीचर्स हैं, ये बोल्ट ऑन फिट होती है, इसमें यूएसबी चार्जिंग की कैपेबिलिटी है, इसके अंदर जीपीएस ट्रैकिंग है, आप फोन पे देख सकते हैं अगर चोरी हो गई तो कहाँ है, अभी इसमें कितना बैटरी बची है, कितने किलोमीटर और चल सकती है, बहुत सारी अन्य जानकारी फोन पे आ जाती है। पेडल से चार्ज हो जाती है इसकी बैटरी, और क्योंकि यूएसबी है इसलिए यूएसबी से आप अपना फोन, लैपटॉप तो कर ही सकते हैं चार्ज, लाइट, पंखा, फ्लड्स में, साइक्लोन्स में, इवन नॉर्मल कंडीशंस में कुछ भी चला सकते हैं। छोटा जनरेटर भी एक तरह का ये है। सोलर से तो और नॉर्मल चार्जर से तो चार्ज कर ही सकते हैं। लगने के बाद 25 की टॉप स्पीड, 40 किलोमीटर की रेंज और 170 किलो का वजन खींचने की क्षमता इस साइकिल में आ जाती है। फीचर्स हैं, सब कुछ है, बोल्ट ऑन फिट भी हो रही है। कॉस्ट क्या रहेगी, ये एक ऐसा सवाल था कि डे वन से ही जैसे हॉन्ट करता है ना, तो हॉन्ट करता था मुझे कि ये उस ब्रैकेट में तो नहीं चली जाएगी कि कोई ले ही नहीं पाएगा। तो want to guess के is it affordable, या anybody wants to make a guess कि how much can somebody spend to buy this, या कितने में को कोई खरीद सकता है? So we have two versions for 10,000 one and एक 14,000। काफी कोशिश करी यहां तक पहुंचने की। अभी भी साइकिल से कंपेयर करें तो प्राइस काफी लगता है, 5,000 का साइकिल है, आप डबल पे हैं, हम भी अभी भी। पर ये उस वैक्यूम को फिट करता है जहां पे कुछ नहीं है। 5,000 की साइकिल और 40,000 के स्कूटर के बीच का जो वैक्यूम है, ये वहां फिट होता है। मैं हरियाणा से हूँ, हिसार से, फैमिली है मेरी वहाँ और घर है, और वर्क के लिए, एजुकेशन के लिए बार बार दिल्ली आना पड़ता है। तो लाइफ बहुत अलग है दोनों में। छोटा सा गांव मेरा हिसार में। हिसार जाता हूं तो ऐसा लगता है भारत आया हूं, दिल्ली आता हूं तो ऐसा लगता है इंडिया आया हूं। बात तो सेम ही है, पर भारत के सॉल्यूशंस, भारत की प्रॉब्लम्स, इंडिया की प्रॉब्लम्स में थोड़ा थोड़ा अंतर है। जो हमने अभी बात की श्याम सिंह जी की, उनके फैमिली की, उन करोड़ों लोगों की, वो भारत की है। इंडिया की थोड़ी मॉडर्न है प्रॉब्लम्स। इंडियन आर्मी से जब मैंने बात की, उनकी प्रॉब्लम को समझा कि वो क्या इशू फेस कर रहे हैं। ट्रांसपोर्टेशन के लिए अभी सबसे छोटा उनके पास या तो बुलेट है, उसके बाद सीधा जिप्सी है, बीच में कुछ नहीं। 200-300 किलो के लोड के लिए स्पेसिफिक कुछ नहीं। उनके पास पूरा बहुत बड़ा फ्लीट है साइकिल रिक्शो का, जिसको हमने अपग्रेड करा। अब अप टिल 500 किलोज ये आराम से रिक्शो पे ट्रांसफर हो जाता है, मूव हो जाता है, किसी भी वेदर कंडीशन में मूव होता है। नॉर्मल रिक्शो को 20 मिनट में इलेक्ट्रिक में अपग्रेड हो सकता है, और ये चलता फिरता जनरेटर तो है ही। आर्मी के बाद इंडियन आइसक्रीम एसोसिएशन से मौका मिला उनकी प्रॉब्लम समझने का। आइसक्रीम वेंडर्स की बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है। आइसक्रीम हम सब खाते हैं, ये नहीं सोचते कि यहां तक आई कैसे है। गोडाउन से आना और उसका मेल्ट हो जाना, बस इतनी ही विंडो है एक आइसक्रीम वाले के पास। आइसक्रीम का फ्रिज 150 किलो का है, आइसक्रीम की ट्राइसाइकिल 125 किलो की है। आप कभी भी रोड पे नोट करिएगा, वो साइकिल चलाते नहीं मिलेंगे, हमेशा घसीटते मिलेंगे, चला नहीं पाते। जब हमने आइसक्रीम कार्ट्स को अपग्रेड करा, तब अब जब अपग्रेड होने के बाद एक आइसक्रीम वेंडर दिन में कई चक्कर लगाता है। फ्रीज होने की प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, 40 किलोमीटर तक ट्रैवल कर लेता है। एक बार गोडाउन पे भरता है, बेचता है, वापस आता है, भरता है, बेचता है, बिना पसीना बहाए। एक वर्ग ऐसा है जो शायद मैंने तो अनदेखा किया था, जो लोग साइकिल भी नहीं चला रहे, उनकी लाइफ तो शायद आधे किलोमीटर में ही सीमित है। जब कुछ एनजीओज, कुछ संस्थाओं से जब इस बारे में संपर्क किया, उनकी हाथ से चलने वाली जो ट्राइसाइकिल्स हैं, इनको अपग्रेड किया, तो आधे किलोमीटर की लाइफ अभी 40 किलोमीटर हो गई है। बिना पसीना बहाए ये 40 किलोमीटर तक आना जाना कर सकते हैं। एक पंजाबी में सेइंग है, थोड़ा मैं हिंदी में बताऊं तो, कि जहां हाथ लगाओ वहीं दर्द है। कितनी संस्थाएं हैं, कितनी एसोसिएशंस हैं, कितनी बॉडीज हैं, जिससे भी मैं इंटरैक्ट करता हूं, सबकी एक एक प्रॉब्लम यही सेम है, ट्रांसपोर्ट को लेके, कॉस्ट को लेके। 8 करोड़ मेरी कैलकुलेशन से कि अभी लोग हैं जिनको इसकी जरूरत अभी है। ये एक मेक इन इंडिया सोल्यूशन, मेड इन इंडिया सोल्यूशन, ये प्रॉब्लम को जड़ से खत्म कर सकता है। श्याम सिंह जी का पोता फिर आ गया। पोते का सवाल अभी भी वही है कि दादाजी वो सब ठीक है, पर मेरा क्या होगा? मेरी भी लाइफ आप ही की तरह 5-6 किलोमीटर में रहने वाली है, या मैं जो प्रगति के बारे में देख रहा हूं यूट्यूब पे, इसमें कभी खुद जाके भी देख पाऊंगा? अब इस बात का जवाब मैं भी काफी कंफ्यूज हूं कि मेरे पास भी ठीक से नहीं है। क्योंकि एक तरफ श्याम सिंह जी दिखते हैं, करोड़ों लोग दिखते हैं सेम सवाल करते हुए, सेम लोग अफ्रीका में भी दिखते हैं सेम सवाल करते हुए, लैटिन अमेरिका में भी दिखते हैं, साउथ एशिया में, पूरी दुनिया में दिख रही। जहां जहां ये साइकिल चल रही है, वहां वहां ये सेम प्रॉब्लम है। तो प्रॉब्लम मुझे दिखती है, इस सोल्यूशन तो ये रहा, मुझे सामने दिखता है, पर ये समझ नहीं आता कि ये जाएगा कैसे। अभी मैं बहुत कोशिश करके अपनी फैक्ट्री में 400 यूनिट्स बनाता हूं एक महीने के, और कुछ छोटा सा एक सरफेस भी स्क्रैच करने के लिए मुझे कम से कम 1 मिलियन यूनिट्स बनाने हैं एक महीने में। तब जाके मैं इस प्रॉब्लम को स्क्रैच करूंगा और सोचूंगा कि शायद आने वाले 10-12 साल में ये प्रॉब्लम को मैं जड़ से खत्म करूं। ये आपके साथ के बगैर, आपके मार्गदर्शन के बगैर, आपकी हेल्प के बगैर नहीं होगा। अब हो सकता है श्याम सिंह जी का जवाब और उन करोड़ों करोड़ों लोगों का जवाब खाली मुझको नहीं देना है, हमको मिलके देना है। आज ये अवसर मुझे मिला है यहाँ आने के लिए। सर, कदम भाई थैंक यू सो मच, आपने अपना टाइम दिया है। राव सर थैंक यू सो मच, ये अपॉर्चुनिटी मुझे मिली है। आप सामने बैठे मुझे लग रहा है टीवी चल रहा है, तो यकीन नहीं हो रहा। थैंक यू सो मच लवली ऑडियंस, थैंक यू सो मच।
Ladies and gentlemen, as we come towards the end of this event, let me start off by thanking our chairman and the chairperson of Adani Foundation. The fact that we are here today hosting Green Talks is because of the platform that they have provided, not only just to the speakers, but to all of us. The learnings that we get as a company is something that is invaluable because not only do that we learn about technology, not only do we learn about how entrepreneurs are changing the world, but we learn about their passion, we learn about their tenacity.
We learn about how people give up their careers to be able to learn about and what it means to want to make a difference. And this is what Green Talks is all about. हम करके दिखाते हैं. As we leave the auditorium, let us get together and applaud not just the 5 who spoke today, but also the 5 who spoke last year and the year before that. We are grateful that they take time to come over here and inspire all of us.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I would request you all to remain seated as the chairman proceeds.